Hey, yo, I'm chilling here right now with my man, Elmer Wright. I like to call him Brother Elmer White. But for right now, we're going to call him, I ain't telling him I was going to do this, but I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to call him the Brother Elmer Wright. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I kind of like that one.
All right, the Brother Wright. Hey, man, so listen, man, real quick, man, you see what we're doing as an organization. That's thebrothers.org, as you can see right there.
It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, that's good. Thanks a lot. So you just recently joined.
Yes, sir.
So tell somebody, man, what are you looking to get out of the deal by rolling with the brothers?
Well, I wanted to try to offer my services to the organization as far as teaching Black history, political, but also I teach martial arts, boxing. I want to offer that to the young youth. You know what I'm saying, for free. You know,
Say that again. Let people know. I gotta give you the microphone now.
So I want to offer the children boxing, martial arts, some self-defense. You know what I'm saying, and you know, give it to them for free because I actually was doing it out west for a while on a professional level, and now I'm back home. This is home, Akron, Ohio. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's too fast out there in California for me.
That's all right. That's all right.
But yeah, I'm just looking forward to helping out the same way I was helped. You know what I'm saying? When I was a teenager, you remember how it was.
Definitely. And you know what? That's what the organization is called, Brothers to Brothers. It's you and your group of brothers helping out another group of brothers. And, you know, each one teach one. And speaking about each one teach one, some of the stuff that you've been doing, man, on your Facebook page is incredible. To me, that's the pure definition or the pure definition of what Brother to Brother is all about, man. You taking that knowledge that you can't get in college, a little bit of that understanding so people can have the right planning so they can make the right decisions when it comes to this voting thing that's coming up right now, or even when it comes to having the right position as a Black man. Tell me, what made you decide to take it to Facebook and do what you're doing? Make sure you hit that microphone, too.
Well, the main reason is because, first of all, a lot of people don't understand that the people that follow Trump are following Trump because they are scared. You know what I'm saying? They're terrified of the way the new world is. They have to compete for jobs. You know what I'm saying? Black people are taking jobs. If they're more educated, they get the job. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of upsets them. And then they look at the way Obama was in presidency, and they expected to have a job instantaneously. But Obama did provide more jobs. You know what I'm saying? But it's still on a competition level. You know what I'm saying? You have to earn the job. You have to be the most qualified.
Okay.
So here they come thinking that Obama didn't do his job. So now they don't want to let Hillary in because, you know,
Right.
she's proved that she's a little bit untrustworthy, you know what I'm saying? But on the same token, you know, I want to let Black people know that the KKK is backing Trump. I want to let them know that the white supremacist is backing Trump. And if these people are backing him, then they have no good intentions for us as a people. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
You understand what I'm saying?
And so that's the reason what made you decide to take to Facebook and do your promotional campaign on your own.
Yes.
On your own, man. And so you've been catching all types of flack about it. Tell me, man, some of the type of flack or even the love that you've been shown since you took it to Facebook as far as letting people know what's going on.
Well, I have been called a bigot.
Right.
I have been called trash. You know, I've been called almost anything you can possibly think of to be called, and I've also been appreciated at the same, you know, on the same, you know, token.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, I enjoy the feedback that I get from the brothers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand or pay attention. You know what I'm saying? I never really used Facebook up until recently. So when I first got on there, it was basically all just, you know, people taking pictures, trying to get compliments. I wanted to use it for something else.
Right.
A learning tool.
Right.
Teaching tool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get out there and share what I had learned and what I have, you know, what I have to teach.
Well, see, and you know what, and that's good. See, what a lot of people don't know about Akron and this particular demographic, man, northeastern Ohio, is there is a live, thriving, conscious community that's out here. I mean, you got people like yourself that's on Facebook, and I saw you on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm following this brother, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, we're gonna put him on the program so he can have another plateau, if you will, or a medium to get your message out. But more importantly, man, we're gonna have you real current, man. you was doing some stuff, man. I
The good
appreciate
thing
it.
about being from Akron is because we have a lot of history here. You know what I'm saying? And you spoke of John Brown not that long ago. John Brown was a great man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost the beginning of the Civil War, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because of his death, you know what I'm saying? And we have, and I love history, and I love to teach history. That's where I started first.
Okay.
On Facebook was teaching black history.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoy it so much. And plus, they don't teach it in schools. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, that the children today, you know, in our communities, they know about, you know, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington,
Right.
but they don't know about the people that have actually made a difference for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And these people, like, okay, they do learn about John Brown.
Okay.
You know, they do, and he did make a difference for us.
He
You know
did.
what
He
I'm
put
saying?
his life on the line.
He did, and the lives of his children as well, you know what I'm saying? So we all appreciate that, but that was the whole beginning of me going on there. Then it flipped over to the political side because, you know, I seen how people were not paying attention
Right.
to the issues, you know what I'm saying? And I needed people to understand that we need to pay attention because even though we believe in something, a lot of us don't even vote. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Why you think we don't vote? I can tell you what I think, but we in your thought right now.
I think they think that it's not gonna matter. Okay, now we're in a Republican state.
Okay.
Okay, so, you know, we're in a Republican state because we're outnumbered by Republicans. So they think that if I vote, it's not gonna matter, we're still gonna have that, we're gonna give that Republican vote for our state is gonna represent as a Republican vote.
Right.
And I understand, you know what I'm saying? But we never know. We never know what's gonna tip the scales because even though 13.5% of this country is us,
Right.
we're still the biggest minority in the country, you know what I'm saying? And the other 69% is the Caucasian people, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know how it's gonna get tipped one way or the other. Remember, it tipped a
Right,
big way
right,
during the
right.
Civil War, you know what I'm saying? And during civil rights, you know what I'm saying? A lot of white people did stand up and die for the cause.
The cause.
Exactly. And, you know, that's why a lot of people were kind of disappointed that Bernie Sanders didn't make it because he was one of the people that was marched in.
He was at the grassroots of it all.
Exactly.
Hey, man, listen, real quick, man. I just want to tell folks, man, is when you think about what we're doing here right now, putting forth this proper propaganda, right? Putting forth this righteous rhetoric, right here in the physical right now. This guy was doing this thing and still doing it and will continue to do it on the Facebook. Like I said, you can get in touch with him. What's the real name? Let them know the real name on Facebook, how they can get in touch with him.
Elmer White.
Elmer Wright. I said it right. It's White with a W-H-I-T-E. That's E-L-M-E-R-W-H-I-T-E. But for right now, it's the brother Wright because he's always right. Never wrong, always coming strong. My main man, Black Thought Live, man. Like I said before, we represent that reporternewspaperonline.com. That's the reporternewspaperonline.com. Right now, as you can see in the background, we got my man Colin Kaepernick. All week, man, you've been hearing about what's been going on with the situation, right? Man, you was talking just now in the truck about standing up for the pledge and what the Pledge of Allegiance really stands for and what it's really about now. Him doing it, I think, has been kind of muted a little bit on why he did it. So I don't want to fall into the category of just the same type of deal. So I'm going to actually promote why he did it before we go on with what we're doing, okay? Because I don't ever want to mute the mission by promoting all. Yeah. So his stance was, what do I look like being who I am? That's the franchise quarterback, damn near $20 million a season, face of the franchise, national lovely franchise, even though I'm not a fan of the San Francisco 49ers, but you already know they're legendary, right?
Yes, they are.
And his point was, what I look like with this platform, with all eyes on me and not saying nothing about the plight of what we have to endure regarding these wild policemen shooting us in the community. That's what his point was. So when he took a stance, or shall I say a seat, and neglected to take a stand in the physical form, but he took a stand in the mental form, in the gesture form, by sitting down and saying, I'm not going to stand up and say, I'm not going to sing the song or pledge my allegiance to the song or to the flag or anything until that one particular situation get answered. Now, you can go and take that wherever you want to go. You know what I'm saying? But he was saying, specifically about how these cops is killing brothers, young brothers, and now sisters out here in the community. I've been on the internet, been surfing. Of course, you know I'm working down there at the reporternewspaper.com. I get a lot of email and stuff, and I be reading and stuff, and I'm hearing over and over, this dude should not have a problem. And this is from Eurocentric America that's typing in and emailing in. This guy shouldn't have a problem with what's going on. He should definitely say his Pledge of Allegiance because he's paid.
Because he gets paid.
Because he gets paid, and the system has worked for you. Now, look, there's two ways I can go with this. Number one,
I could go a couple ways with that.
Number one, how's the system working for you, and you still working? You physically putting forth you getting paid off your back. So the same system that took care, the same system, metaphorically speaking, you pretty much a slave to a degree. Right. Now, even though you're getting paid, you're getting compensated for your services this time around. But for people to say, hey, you getting paid, you shouldn't say nothing. That's crazy. And then they saying you should go back to Africa. Now, brother, this dude is a biracial brother. Okay? And you're a biracial brother.
Right.
So I know you can speak on that, man. But this dude is a biracial brother, and they telling this guy to go back to Africa. And I don't like the fact that you're not saying what you need to say or pledge allegiance and get up and stand up. And the veterans, you're disrespecting the veterans and all. That's not what he's saying. You can't change the narrative of what he's saying. He said, until the situation changed with all this freedom, with all this free hooting and shooting against our people in the form of these these blue cops shooting our people. That's his point. So why in the hell all this other stuff is being brought up, and his stance was, I'm not going to stand and pledge allegiance until this situation. Some cops go to jail. I mean, let's just break it down. Until some cops go to jail, something got to happen.
Somebody has to pay for a murder eventually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. I mean, it can't be just free to just kill at will whenever they decide. You know what I'm saying? There should be some type of guideline to determine whether or not this is the way. And if it is the way with this black man, then it should be this way with this white man as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you see it, it's being handled differently from one race to another. You know
So
what I mean?
do you think about him taking a stance on that as a football figure?
A patriot. You know what I'm saying? He's being patriotic, and he's exercising a right as an American. The reason why we are Americans is because we have rights to take stands as such. And for someone to stand against him and to speak against him would be very un-American themselves.
So, hold on. So basically you're saying him protesting in the way that he did is pure American.
Pure American.
And you're saying for anybody to go against his free will to want to sit down is un-American.
Is un-American.
Explain that.
Well, because if we have a freedom to speak, and then we should have the freedom to sit. Then we should, like you said, sitting is a form of speaking out,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, for this man's cause. And for people to speak against it, they're the ones that should actually go to another country where it is not allowed to be free to be patriotic.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Right. That's a good point. So, were you shocked when all this hit the fan?
Yes, I was. I was amazed because, first of all, every time something comes up when it's concerning the flag, they bring up veterans, and that is to bring up some type of emotion. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been kind of, I'm not against veterans in the military. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people in this country that are Americans, just as much Americans as they are, that couldn't get in the military or decided it just wasn't their cup of tea. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So the fact is that are these people less American than the military? You understand what I'm saying?
It's a good point. The point is you were saying how they intertwine the military or the veterans with somebody saying, I'm not going to stand for this.
Right.
And his point was, again, I'm not standing because you whooping up on our people and shooting them. You're whooping our ass out here. And I'm just trying to tell you, somebody got to pay for it. That's what he's saying.
Exactly.
This got to change.
Actually,
so they throw that other situation in.
the fight started a long time ago with the abolitionary.
You better speak on that.
Do you understand
Yes,
what I'm
sir,
saying?
I understand.
And he is just on another train. That's all, on the same fight.
Right.
Because it's never stopped. They've been whooping and murdering us for centuries.
Right.
And because of all of the American rights that we've actually been able to,
Right.
gather, and have the right to
scavenge.
Right.
That's the real word.
Right, exactly. He's exercising these rights. You know
So
what
why
I'm
is he
saying?
catching hell, though? Why is he catching hell?
You know what? And that was heard D.L. Hughley say that when a man tries to do a patriotic thing, and he's white, he might even be considered wrong, but they call it patriotic. But when a black man does something patriotic, it's called un-American.
Let me ask you a question. I told you I was going to ask you this or bring this up during the show when we was in the truck on the way over here. I said, what if Tom Brady would have sat down during the same stance, sat down during the song, the Star Spangled Banner or whatever, and refused to pledge his allegiance to the style, Tom Brady. Let me tell you what I think society would have said. Oh my God, such an incredible move. He has so much intestinal fortitude to pull this off. He's riding for the African American. He's such a patriot, literally and figuratively speaking. He is such that dude. Oh my God, they would have been all on him like he was that great guy.
He's the true American.
And they would have been applauding. All the prognosticators that I watch on ESPN and different stuff like that, they would have been talking totally different, like this is a great thing. You wouldn't have heard nothing about why did he have to do it during this. Tell me what you think about that, if it was Tom Brady.
If it would have been Tom Brady, I agree with you. I mean, because actually in the past, we've had to depend on white people to make a stand for us just to make a point.
We're just talking history.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, uh-huh.
So now here we are in a different point in time, and we're trying to take that same stand that white people used to take stands for us. We don't really need them no more.
Mm-hmm.
We should be able to take a stand now on our own. But now we're being called un-American.
Yeah.
But if we would have been Tom Brady, it would have been a patriotic thing, and everybody would have followed. I guarantee that Trump and Hillary would have been fighting on who really agreed. He's my friend. No, he's my friend. You understand what I'm saying? But now, because this is a black man, it's a totally different thing. Because first of all, the uneducated, I don't want to call Caucasian people, they can get really upset when a black man stands. Because
Right. They're uneducated.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they have they feel it's almost the same as, you remember the movie, the true story of that town down south that
Rosewood.
was Rosewood, and they saw that the guy had a piano and he was, well, that same, theory
Right.
applies when they see that somebody's intelligent enough to stand for what is true, you know what I'm saying, and they're using their own American rights. They get a little upset because they want to believe that they're higher than us. They never want to be on an equal plane.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay, brother, I wanted to tell you one more thing that I want before we get up out of here. I want to cover this Trump thing again. A lot of people most black people were not fools. Okay, first of all, you know what I'm saying. First of all, Trump didn't allow anyone black into his rallies up in Cleveland. Didn't allow. They was turning away black people and allowing protesters that were white to come in. Even the white protesters were saying, but I'm protesting. You're saying that they're not allowed in. And that was because he thought he could win the election without the black vote. Because, we're only at 13.5%.
Right.
If he can get 50% of the white people, he's got it. Right. So once he started realizing that he was losing ground with the white people, then he started trying to make a plan for blacks in black communities. Exactly. And we're talking about even then, he acted like we should forget about how he was treating black folks, because he had already brought up this the situation, because after Black Lives Matter tried to do a protest and march, or he said we need to bring back the old days on how we handled them. Now, the old days, how we handled them, the only thing that comes to my mind is dogs, hoses, clubs, you know, etc. Maybe a few hangings here and there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, you said it's so distinguished.
do you understand what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So my thing is that he said these things and then tried to recap and go back and say, no, I need these black votes. Well, he hired a new campaign manager who told him, you're not going to make it without these black people. But then, you know, actually wanted us to forget, you know. Now, my thing is that if he did, okay, let's just say he did become president. The campaign manager that gave him the idea to have a black plan is gone. It's going to be just him. He's not going to have a campaign manager there. You understand what I'm saying? His backers are white supremacists. Now, they're not backing him because he's got a nice, you know, beautiful plan for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they hate us. You know, history has shown that they do not like us. So the only reason they're backing him is because they have a plan.
You talk about the white supremacists.
The white supremacists.
Right.
But the only reason they're backing him is because he has a plan to cut us out. Cut us out of jobs, cut us out of promotions, cut us out of
Equal schooling and everything.
Equal everything. You know what I'm saying? Equal opportunities. The whole 9 yards. So my thing is that we need to remember that Donald Trump is not for us. You know, he is just not for us. He wasn't for us at the beginning of the campaign, so he couldn't possibly be with us now. And that's all I want to say on that.
Hey, man, listen. I said on the last show that black media is so important because we promote our stories the way we see them. Now, make no mistake, this presidency is our story too.
It is.
Okay? And it's very important that we are able to see it as if it's our story. Okay? Now, sometimes you need a grand authoritator, someone who can narrate what we're watching. In football, we call that person the color commentator, right? In the radio business,